However it begins, it's gotta be louder.
And then it's gotta get a little bit
louder! Because this is how you write a political poem and how you deliver it with power.
Power!
Power!
Mixed current events.
Climate change.
Nuclear weapons.
Fake news.
Platitudes of
Empowerment. Wrap it up and rhyme.
Or rhyme it up and rap.
Until it sounds true. Fight the power.
Somewhere in Florida.
Fight the power.
Somewhere in Florida.
Fight the power.
Somewhere in Florida.
Fight the powers that be. Huh.
Word to your mother.
Hi, Mom. Glare until it sinks in.
Because somewhere in Florida, votes are still being counted.
I said, somewhere in Florida, votes are still being counted. See, that's the hook.
And you gotta have a hook.
More than the look.
It's the hook that's the most important part.
The hook's gotta fit and the hook's gotta hit.
The hook's gotta hit
Hard in the heart.
In case you hadn't noticed, it has somehow become uncool to sound like you know what you're talking about.
Or believe strongly in what you're
saying. Invisible question marks and parenthetical
you knows
have been attaching themselves to the end of our
sentences, even when
those sentences aren't like questions, you know? It doesn't matter if you blame the media, that dang iPhone, or the lack of hardships that face the younger generation.
Such as having to walk downhill both ways to and from school.
The problem remains.
Today's society lacks the originality and the creativity that allows us to communicate and to formulate our own ideas.
From recycling Disney classics every 10 years to adopting mannerisms that have become trendy.
Oof! No, you.
To tweeting in the third person.
The Trump Russia story was used as an excuse by the Democrats as justification for losing the election. Perhaps Trump just ran a great campaign.
In Taylor Molly's volume,
Conviction.
The Works.
How to write a political poem.
Like Totally Whatever You Know.
And the impotence of proofreading.
Are combined to reveal the repetitive nature of our communication.
And to spark our imaginations into coming up with fun and unique ways to express ourselves.
Declarative sentences.
So-called.
Because I used to like declare things to be true, okay?
As opposed to other things that are like totally, you know, not.
Have been infected by a totally hip and tragically cool interrogative tone, you know?
Like, don't think I'm uncool just because of, like, notice this, okay? It's just the word on the street. It's like what I've heard. I have nothing personally invested in my own opinions. I'm just inviting you to join me on the bandwagon of my uncertainty. What has happened to our conviction?
Where are the limbs out on which we once walked?
Have they been, like, chopped down?
With the rest of the rainforest? Or do we have nothing to say?
Has society become so, totally,
I mean, absolutely, you know?
That we've just gotten to the point where it's just like, whatever!
So actually, our disarticulationness is just a clever sort of
thing to disguise the fact that we've become the most aggressively inarticulate generation to come along since...
You know, a long, long time ago? I entreat you.
I implore you.
I exhort you.
We challenge you to speak with conviction. To say what you believe in a manner that bespeaks the determination with which you believe it.
Because contrary to the wisdom of the bumper sticker, it is not enough these days to simply question authority.
You have to speak with it too. Somewhere in Florida, votes are still being counted.
Has this ever happened to you?
You work very hard on a paper for English class.
And then get a very low grade.
Like a
D.
Or even a
D equals.
And all because you were the words liverwurst spoiler.
Proofreading your peppers is of the utmost impotence. This is a problem that affects manly students.
I myself was such a bed spiller once upon a term that my
English teacher
in my sophomore year,
Mrs. Smith,
said,
"You'll never get into a good colleague."
And that's all I wanted, just to get into a good colleague, not anal community colleague.
Because you won't be happy at anal community colleague.
I really needed to be challenged.
Challenged dentally.
So I know.
This makes me sound like a stereo.
But I really wanted to go to an Ivory legal colleague. So I got myself
a spell checker.
and figured I was on Sleazy Street.
But there were several missed eggs.
That a spell checker can't
Can't
catch.
catch.
Can't
catch.
catch.
For instance, if you accidentally leave a word, your
spell
spell checker
won't
won't.
put it in you.
And God, for billing purposes only, you should have serial problems with Tory
Tory
spelling.
Your spell
Check off.
might replace a word with one you had.
Absolutely no detention of using, because what do you want it to do?
It only does what you tell it to do.
You're the one with your hand on the mouth going click, click, click. This just goes to show you
How embargo one careless click of the mouth can be. This reminds me of one time during my
Junior Mint.
when my English teacher decided to read my entire paper on
A sale of 2 titties.
out loud to all of my assmates. I'm not joking, I'm totally serial. It was the most humidifying experience of my life.
Being laughed at pubically. So do yourself a favor and follow these 2 pieces of advice.
1.
There is no prostitute for careful editing. And 3,
When it comes to proofreading, somewhere in Florida, votes are still being counted.
Remember, however it begins,
It's gotta be loud.
And then it's gotta get a little bit
Louder. Glare.
Because somewhere in Florida, votes are still being counted.
And Donald Trump is peeing all over himself in spasmodic delight.
Collusion.
Make fun of politicians. It's easy.
Especially with Republicans.
Like Mike Pence, Marco Rubio, and Hillary Clinton.
You see what he just did there? Emails.
Create fatuous juxtapositions of personalities and political philosophies. As if communism were the opposite of democracy. As if we needed Darth Vader.
Not Ralph Nader.
Who's Ralph Nader?
Peep this. When I say call, you say response. Call!
Response.
Call!
Response!
Call!
Amazing grace, how sweet the stop in the middle of a song that everyone knows and loves.
This will give your poem a sense of urgency.
Because there's always a sense of urgency in a political poem.
There is no time to waste.
Corruption doesn't have a curfew. Greed doesn't care what color you are.
And the New York City Police Department is filled with people
Who wear guns on their hips.
and carry metal badges pinned over their hearts.
Injustice isn't injustice, it's just in us as we are just in ice.
That's the only alienation of this
Alienation in which you either fight for freedom
or else you are
free and dumb. And even as I say this, somewhere in Florida, votes are still being counted. And it makes me wanna beatbox.
Because I've seen this disintegration of gentrification when we speak with great articulation about cosmic constellation and atomic radiation. I've seen D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation, but preferred 101 Dalmatians. Like a cross-examination, I will give you the explanation of why Slam Nation is the ultimate manifestation of poetic masturbation and egotistical ejaculation.
And maybe they are still counting votes somewhere in Florida.
But by the time you get to the end of this poem, it won't matter anymore.
Because all you have to do is close your eyes.
Lower your voice, and end by saying,
The same line 3 times. The same line 3 times. The same line 3 times.